take that salmon-colored paper, please, and find the 3 typical parts of a neuron. I've lettered them there for you, A, B, and C: dendrite, cell body, and axon. Those are the 3 main parts of a neuron. I am not going to say every neuron has all 3 parts. Some specialized neurons have a few of the parts missing, but a typical neuron sends an impulse in this direction all the time, the way I've set it up with my letters. An impulse enters the dendrites, goes through the cell body, and goes out along the length of the axon. So that you have that down on that paper, do this for me. And I got the same picture, different color. Draw an arrow down this side margin of your paper. Put the head of the arrow down at the bottom. Right at the bottom of that arrow, draw the arrow the entire length of the paper. Head of the arrow down at the bottom. At the bottom of the arrow, put direction of impulse. And then just superimpose these 3 words on that arrow. Near the top of the page, put dendrite. In the middle of the arrow, put cell body. And down near your arrowhead at the bottom, put axon. That's the direction that an impulse flows. It cannot go backwards. Our whole nervous system would be messed up if we could have it go any which way it wanted to. Nerve impulses, just like blood circulating through your blood vessels, can only go in a certain direction. Otherwise, sensory cells would have impulses coming out of them when information was trying to come in them. That would mess everything up. If you were trying to get information to your brain, and at the same time another impulse could come down your neuron, we would not have normal flow of impulses, and our nervous system wouldn't work the way we know it should. Quick take a look at the differences here between dendrites, cell body, and axon. Generally speaking, the only place you'll ever find the nucleus is dead center in the middle of the cell body. There's a little dot in there right now. I'd like you to make a little bit bigger and label it the nucleus. Right in the center of the cell body is where the nucleus should be. Dendrites, take a look at them. There's lots of them. Lots of them. And they're relatively short. Compared to the axon, there's 1 of them. And extremely long, so long as a matter of fact, you can see what they had to do here to get this whole axon on the paper. They've had to weave it back and forth and back and forth. Is it ever like this in the body? Of course not. It's 1 long, extended band of cytoplasm coming out of the cell body that would be running from your central nervous system, let's say, out to your big toe. You would never find it like this in the body. There'd be no reason for it to be like that. If it only had to go from here to here, it would be a short axon. And we have some like that. It wouldn't be this axon zigzag back and forth. They did that for diagrammatic purposes to put it all on the same page. Look what happens down at the end of the axon. End of the axon branches out into what are called terminal fibers. Terminal fibers are officially part of the axon. Last thing, I see the clock, we got to get Womogo out of here. The very end of each terminal fiber has a little enlargement, a little swelling called a bouton, known as the little button. Womogo, get moving, because I've held you 2 minutes longer. You're going to miss the bus.